Hi Founder fans, Jason here, and today's founder is James Swan. James Swan was a young merchant who participated in the Boston Tea Party. A few years later, he would join the militia and fight in the Battle of Bunker Hill. There it is, a Battle of Bunker Hill. After Bunker Hill, this young merchant was successful enough where he was asked to be secretary on the Massachusetts Board of War, and he served in this capacity and several capacities of that nature throughout the American Revolutionary War and into the 1780s. Now, during this time, his merchant career was doing pretty well, and he ends up going to France just as the French Revolution is breaking out, and he makes a lot of money in a very interesting way. You see, after the French Revolution broke out, there was the Reign of Terror, and, well, people went around beheading nobles left and right. And during this time, James Swan would purchase the belongings of those beheaded noblemen. The French rebels were actually really happy about this because these were very expensive items, and selling them to this American helped pay for the French Revolution. Now, because of this and many other of his interests, James Swan made a whole lot of money, and he was able to make a $2 million purchase from the French. They didn't make all the money they needed from him buying all the dead noblemen's belongings, so they sold James Swan the debt that America owed France. One of the reasons for the French Revolution is France had gone broke, and one of the reasons for that is they invested a lot of money in the young United States. So, Swan actually purchased the debt of the United States of America. At least that owed to France, not necessarily that owed to other nations who also helped pay for the Revolutionary War. Now, Swan was a patriot. He did expect to get paid for this money, but he didn't come collecting right away. Instead, he actually bought time for the United States. Again, this is right about the time that Washington had become president, and Alexander Hamilton is putting through his assumption plan to collect all the states' debt under one banner. So Swan did buy Hamilton time to accomplish this. Furthermore, because he didn't want to just hold on to this debt for that long, he didn't have that much money, he did parcel it out and sell pieces to other private investors who could also collect on the interest of the United States' debt. Now, funnily enough, Swan does make a good amount of money on this, but like I said, he did help the nation. Now, he was a little bit of an eccentric person. You see, he returned to the United States for a few years, and then in 1808 went back to Paris. He seemed to like it there. But he was accused of not paying a very small amount of money back to someone. And he denied this charge. It went to court, and he was convicted and was given a very small fine that this wealthy man could easily have paid. But he was a man of conviction, apparently, and absolutely refused to pay this very small fine. So the French government, then under Napoleon, said, well, okay, we're going to send you to prison, thinking once he goes to prison, he'll pay his fine right away. But nope. James Swan went to a French prison, and he spent the next 22 years of his life in a French prison for seemingly no reason other than he wanted to stand on principle. This was more than a quarter of his life he was hanging out in a prison cell. Now, it seems like it was a nice prison cell for rich people, but either way, he was in prison for 22 years for a very, very insignificant reason. So that is the extraordinarily interesting life of James Swan, the man who bought the United States debt. I do want to remind you, I am going to start doing a lot more live videos, especially some interviews I have coming up. So if you want to catch those and you're watching this, you probably don't get told when I do my live videos. So make sure you go down below and hit the notification bell so you can see every founder we talk about on this channel, not just the pre-recorded ones. While you're down there, hit like, and if you're new here, subscribe. Thank you for watching. I will be back tomorrow, as we do every Friday, with trivia.